Today is Tuesday, September 17, 2019. Coming up on Roland Martin Unfiltered, the congressional vote for the Futures Act goes down in just a little while. We'll talk with the co-sponsor, Republican Mark Walker of North Carolina, out of Alabama, on what this means for HBCUs. Also, the AKs are trying to raise $1 million for HBCUs. We'll talk with the international president and president of Tennessee State, Dr. Glenda Glover, about that very issue. Democratic donor Ed Buck of California has been under suspicion for being a sexual predator for years. Political activist Jasmine Koenig is here to tell us why she has been sounding the alarm about him targeting black gay men. Also, Drew Comments posted a hilarious video on his Instagram page saying why he supports Senator Kamala Harris, and he also dispels lots of folks who criticize her, or of course, her term as Attorney General and District Attorney. We'll talk to him on why he put that whole video together. The Tuskegee Airmen are being honored with a new Air Force plane. Plus, Common this today, y'all, posted a video on Instagram of this black man and black woman who saying, if this world were mine, in a Columbia, South Carolina Walmart. Unbelievable. It has gone viral. I will talk with both of them right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. It's time to bring the funk. Let's go.
He's got it. Whatever the biz, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. It's on go, roll, y'all. It's Roland Martin, rolling with Roland now. He's funk, he's fresh, he's real, the best, you know he's Roland Martin now.
Yesterday, we discussed the Future Act, of course, a bill that will greatly benefit HBCUs when it comes to STEM. Congress is going to be voting this hour for this bill. It could impact, of course, nearly 4 million students, more than 1/4 of all undergraduates in the country, if, of course, this is not passed. Universities serving these students, and they face the elimination of federal funding for this particular project. And so the bill is called the Fostering Undergraduate Talent by Unlocking Resources for Education Act, again, or Future Act. It's a bipartisan bill designed to help to deal with this very issue. Joining us right now is the co-sponsor of the Futures Act, Republican Mark Walker of North Carolina. Glad to have you on the show. What is it looking like? It's going to be a vote. Yesterday, Congresswoman Alma Adams said it requires a 2/3 vote. That's what Michael Lomax of the UNCF said as well. Are you confident the votes are there to actually get this bill passed?
I am confident because even though we had some opposition rolling on the floor, there's a procedure where it can pass by voice vote or where someone calls for a roll call vote. Usually that's to put people on record if somebody calls for a roll call vote. I would hope that it passes by voice vote. I'm fairly confident that it will, but stranger things have happened on the floor, and we're there. Watch it. About 20 minutes, we'll be opening up the floor. This will be one of the first things we take up.
Got some folks who would oppose a bill dealing with education for young folks, and Representative Adams said the bill pays for itself. I mean, so it's not like it's adding to the federal deficit.
Absolutely. I think one of the oppositional pieces is they didn't like the funding stream. They felt like that the college debt as a whole is a problem. So they're coming in from a different angle. However, this is something that I believe is important. Last Congress, we were able to plus up HBCU funding $14 million. So this time we're looking to extend the $86 million. And listen, for me, it's personal. My wife is a family nurse practitioner at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. She's a 2-time graduate HBCU alum. Also, I represent the largest HBCU in the country, North Carolina A&T. So this is something that we've been working with Representative Alma Adams from the very beginning.
And so, again, the HBCU community, they've put a full force, full court press on this, trying to have folks call in, send emails, things along those lines. And so Again, you have Democrats who are, of course, in the majority as well, but this requires 2/3. Just explain to the folks why it requires 2/3 as opposed to majority.
Well, the reason that it requires 2/3 is because you're reauthorizing something. A simple passage is of anything, piece of legislation, just requires simple majority without going, as your audience knows, it goes to the Senate and eventually the president's desk. You're reauthorizing something, you need the 2/3, and I think that's why the kind of funding that's needed would require the 2/3. But as I said earlier, I don't think this gets to the place where you're actually putting your card in behind the seats, pushing the button. I think it's going to pass with a voice vote unless somebody calls for the roll call vote. I don't anticipate that, but as I said earlier, it could happen. I just hope that it doesn't.
All right, then. We're Representative Walker. We certainly appreciate you joining us. What does it look like for the Senate? Last question.
I think it'll be good. My friends, Senator Tim Scott and Doug Jones from Alabama, have been doing the bicameral counterpart. So I think we're going to be good to go from over on that side. So hopefully within an hour or so, it'll be to the House, and we'll have some good news to report.
All right, Representative Walker, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Roland.
All right, folks, the AKAs are on a mission to raise $1 million in one day to help the nation's HBCUs. The good news is that on yesterday's Impact Day, they surpassed their goal. We'll get the final tally by the end of the week, but there's still time to make your own impact. I talked yesterday with International AKA President Dr. Glenda Glover about their initiative. So, Dr. Glover, let's talk about this initiative you and AKAs are doing when it comes to HBCUs. You're obviously president of Tennessee State University. And so what was the impetus for this? AKAs have previously supported HBCUs. But why this targeted effort, and where really did it start from?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about this wonderful initiative with you today on one of my favorite shows. So thank you very much. As a college president, I see firsthand the plight of Black colleges and HBCUs and what we need to do to sustain HBCUs. So this initiative, HBCU for Life, a call to action, came about as a result of that. And so recognizing the need for financial contributions for HBCUs, we set out to ensure that each HBCU, each four-year school would have an endowment of $50,000 to $100,000 at each campus, so for sustainability purposes.
And again, what the folks don't realize is that to understand the endowments, to understand the disparity, when you look at the likes of Harvard, Yale, Stanford, University of Texas, Texas A&M, Ohio State, Michigan, those schools, they have massive endowments in the billions. And unfortunately for HBCUs, you do not have that. And so explain to folks what the endowment actually means, because I think a lot of people don't realize that you have a budget on one hand, and many HBCUs, their budgets are really based upon the financial student aid. And so explain to the audience why that endowment is so critically important.
Thank you. Endowments are so important because scholarships are awarded from the interest on the endowment. How the endowment grows, so grows the scholarships. Most, especially private schools, depend on endowments, and the state schools also, because there once was a time when the state schools got far more money, more financing from the legislature and the government, state government. That day is over now, and they get about, I know Tennessee State, we get less than 30% of our total budget comes from the state of Tennessee. The rest would to make up from other means. So to have an endowment on each campus is so significant because it represents a way to give scholarships, a way to finance student education, a way for students to actually stay in school. You mentioned the big endowments. Yes, there are some large endowments at the other schools, the majority institutions, but the average endowment at HBCU on average is around $20,000, which is not good at all.
So you're saying the average endowment at an HBCU is around $20,000?
Yes, the average endowment of an HBCU is around $20,000. We looked at some of the larger ones, FAMU, Howard, Morehouse, Those three are the largest ones. There may be one or two more in the top five. Then you have a group that have endowments between 50 and 100,000. That's about, I would say, 6 or 7 schools. Then you have some that have 30 to 40 to less than 50. That's another handful. But the majority of them are in the $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 category. So we did the average of all of them, of all 96 schools, and it was about $20,000, which is so insufficient. So, and that's why we, AKA, said, well, let's set up an endowment at each university, each college, of $50,000. $100,000, depending on the school. So at least we will have some way to support the sustainability of HBCUs.
Well, here on this show, we also created a hashtag HBCU Giving Day, where we profile one particular school, giving people an opportunity to give as well. And I think what people don't understand, I've covered this story for a number of years, and the reality is that we have lots of people who walk around with Tennessee State gear, or it might be FAMU and Howard or whatever their school is. But the average giving is so low when it comes to graduates. And when I explain to people, I get some people who push back, who say, well, these black graduates can't give. I said, no. I said, y'all don't understand. When you talk about 3 and 4 and 5% giving, that's any level of giving. That's $5. That's $10. That's $100, $1,000. And so I think a lot of people have this assumption that when we talk about alumni giving, we're talking about major gifts. No, we're talking about total giving, any amount of money. And so how important is it for HBCUs to create this culture of giving from the moment a student walks onto the campus, so when they graduate, it has been ingrained in their mind that they must give back to their institution?
Well, many schools now have started to establish public-private partnerships and with contribution to the endowments. And they're asking students to join the alumni clubs, the pre-alumni clubs, to teach them how to give, the importance of giving. Here at Tennessee State, our endowment is not significant. It's around $60 million, which is, did I say 20,000, 20 million earlier. I meant to say $20 million. I'm so sorry. Average is $20 million. So TSU is about $60 million, which is nowhere near what's needed to give scholarships. If it were not for the various majors that we have, for example, agriculture, we depend on USDA to assist us a lot for students majoring in engineering, in the tech, in the STEM areas and agriculture. We depend on some of our other partners in the hospital world, in the industry, in the banking industry. We depend on them for partnerships, which has become the new wave of the day now, to supplement the scholarships with other income from our partners, because there is no way. Well, because the alumni, although alumni that giving has increased a lot over the years, it's not where it needs to be, and we're steadily growing. TSU this past year just entered a partnership with Apple and with Amazon. The Apple partnership is so significant to the university in that not only does it provide resources, but it teaches students how to code, how to develop apps so they can have entrepreneurial ventures. So based on that, we're able to get more funding from Apple, and then Amazon came in. They're moving to Nashville. So we're partnering with the companies that are coming to Nashville and those that we can show that TSU makes a difference and other HBCUs make a difference.
Just to clarify, Dr. Glover, so the average endowment at an HBCU is around $20 million. And what you're trying to encourage the AKs, but also other fraternities, sororities, the Divine Nine, but also other organizations, is to sort of take up this challenge as well, because the reality is, with declining funding, if you talk about from state institutions, but also when it comes to the struggle for a lot of these private HBCUs, that endowment really serves as a backstop for universities, not only to give scholarships, but also to weather a financial storm that hits if they have a dip in enrollment or anything along those lines.
Exactly. And that's why we're encouraging these public-private partnerships. We're encouraging alumni to give more, because everybody has to have their rainy day fund. You never know what's going to happen. At TSU, we try to make sure we can live 6 months, just in case something happens. I hope we're going to go a whole semester, and now we've extended that to 9 months. So we want to make sure that in case some catastrophe happens or something beyond our control, that we can still manage for at least an academic year. So we were trying to get that for each university. Now, we talk to the various presidents, talk among ourselves about the things that we need to ensure survival of our campuses. And we've concluded there is no problem that we have that money cannot solve. So we're out there asking alums, we're asking the foundations, we're asking public-private partnerships, we're just asking for assistance. That's why today is so important. We just told our membership, Alpha Kappa Alpha has 300,000 members. So we said, yes, we raised $1 million in one day last year. Let's do it again this year. We need to show HBCUs that we're serious. Because someone said, let's have an awareness campaign. We don't need an awareness campaign. We're already aware that HBCUs need money. We know who they are. What they need is financing. They need funding. They don't need no more awareness of here I am. We need no more pat on the backs. We need you to give money to support HBCUs. And that's what this effort is all about.
Dr. Glover, if folks, other AKs out there who are watching have not given, where can they go to participate in this effort?
So anyone who's watching, but the AKA, other Greeks, or just friends of ours or supporters of others, can go to aka1908.com on the internet, or they can do text to give at 44321. Just type in AKA HBCU. AKA HBCU at 44321 if you're texting. If you're online, aka1908.com.
All right, Dr. Glover, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You want to check out Roland? Volume. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it. All right, folks, you've heard me talk a lot about marijuanastock.org because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. And we've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. We know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S., creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all the plants, and that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, there are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. Now, what 420 Real Estate has done is offer this special deal for the folks who watch Roland Martin Unfiltered. Originally, the minimum investment level was $500. Now you can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. Again, this is a $340 billion industry that is still growing. You can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now. All right, folks, it pretty much was a shit show today on Capitol Hill as Corey Lewandowski testified before the House committee dealing with the Mueller report. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, of course, one of the top Democrats on the committee, had an opportunity to question him. And you can pretty much guess how the questioning went because it's not like Corey Lewandowski isn't a complete ass. So watch this.
Good morning, Mr. Lewandowski. I'm questioning you right now. Thank you. The president asked you, who had no role at all in the White House, to deliver that message to Attorney General Sessions. The president could have just picked up the phone himself at any time and called the Attorney General. The president also had a full staff of executive employees right down the hall. So this made me wonder, if the president thought what he was doing was legal, why didn't he just pick up the phone and call Attorney General Sessions, or why not ask any member of his staff who worked right down the hall to deliver a message? It is clear to me that the reason he went to you, Mr. Lewandowski, is because everyone said no. So I want to ask you about that. 2 days before meeting you, the president had called White House counsel McGahn at home on a Saturday to fire the special counsel, saying, and you can see that on the screen, Mueller has to go. Call me back when you do it. Plain and simple. But McGahn refused. When the president asked you to deliver that message, did he, the president, tell you that 2 days before your meeting, his White House counsel had refused to fire the special counsel? Volume 1186 is where you'll find that language. Volume 2. When the president asked you, did you hear the question?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question,
When the
Congresswoman?
president asked you to deliver that message, did he, the president, tell you that 2 days before your meeting, his White House counsel had refused to fire the special counsel?
The White House has directed me that I not disclose the substance of any
So
conversations with the
You are
president.
not
or his
allowed
advisors.
to answer whether the president told you he called his counsel at home on Saturday to remove the special counsel, and his counsel said no. The president had also personally called Sessions at home and asked him to unrecuse himself and oversee the special counsel's investigation, and Sessions said no. When the president asked you to deliver his message to Sessions, did the president tell you that Sessions had already said no? Volume 2, page 107?
Again, Congresswoman, I recognize that the privilege is not mine, but I've been asked by the White House to... Congresswoman, I'd be happy to answer your question, or you can just have a conversation by yourself. But if you'd like to ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer
I'm going to continue. The reason is
Well, then don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear my answer.
I'm reclaiming my time. This is a House judiciary, not a House party.
So if you ask me a question, give me the opportunity to answer your question.
The very campaign the special counsel is investigating. I'd like my time restored, please, of his interruption.
The gentlelady controls the time.
So he was a witness to the special counsel's investigation. For that reason, Sessions said publicly that federal law prohibited his involvement in the special counsel's investigation. Here's a quote from the report from volume 2, pages 49 to 50, which is on the screen. You can read that. Yes or no? Did the president tell you that the attorney general was legally not allowed to take any part in the special counsel's investigation when he asked you to deliver him a note about that very investigation? Did the president tell you that?
What you've just read is not on the screen, Congresswoman.
You need to look at the screen.
There it is.
Yes or no? Read the screen.
You're welcome to read it, Congresswoman.
You're welcome to be stalling, and I'm not going to stall. You either answer the question yes or no.
Congressman, I'll take the same privileges that you've had other members.
Did the president tell you that nobody at the White House was supposed to even contact the attorney general about the investigation? That you can answer yes or no.
I will not disclose any conversations I've had with the president, Congresswoman.
Again, you are obviously here to block any reasonable inquiry into the truth or not of this administration. The White House counsel, quote, shortly after Sessions announced his recusal, directed that Sessions should not be contacted about the special counsel investigation. In fact, the White House counsel's internal notes state no contact with Sessions and no communication serious about instruction. Can you read that? I just said it. Can you read that? Did you hear me?
Yes, is there a question?
Yes. Did the president tell you his White House counsel told him no contact with Sessions because of serious concerns of obstruction when he asked you to deliver a message to Sessions?
I am respecting the executive branch privilege of confidentiality, and I will recognize that this time.
Let me just say that did you know the president was putting you at risk when he asked you to deliver a message to the attorney general? I want to be very clear. The president knew what he was doing was wrong because everyone else had already said no. He called his White House counsel to fire the special counsel. McGahn said no. He called the attorney general to ask him to unrecuse himself from the special counsel's investigation. Sessions said no. His White House counsel said there should be no contact with Sessions because of his recusal. So what does the president do? He calls you in to do what everyone else wouldn't do. He called you in to do his dirty work in secret because he knew it was wrong. Well, we will expose the truth. The president cannot hide behind you any longer. And you should be here to be telling the truth, because the truth will set you free and the American people. I yield back.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. The witness may answer the question.
I don't believe there was a question, Congressman.
Very well.
Yes, there was.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
I'll be happy to repeat the
It's just
question.
a rant.
Can't repeat the question.
I'll be happy to repeat the
Gentlelady's
question.
time has expired. The gentleman from...
Did you know the Attorney General
The
had recused?
The gentleman from...
All right, let's go to our panel. Joseph Williams, Senior Editor, U.S. News and World Report. We have, of course, Kelly Bethea, Communications Strategist, Malik Abdul, Republican Strategist. Joseph, how in the hell can the White House assert executive privilege for somebody who never worked for the White House or the American people? What Donald Trump is doing is beyond shameful to suggest that you can exert or assert executive privilege, not only people who still work there, but folks who used to work there, and for folks who never worked there.
It's ridiculous. I mean, there's no legal justification for what he did or what he was saying, but this has been their game plan all along. I mean, anybody who's remotely connected to Donald Trump since the campaign or before the campaign, when they come to testify, they execute the same game. They don't want to say anything. They dare the committee to hold them in contempt and dare the legal process to start, which basically is stalling in a way.
Kelly, this committee should hold him contempt and throw his ass in jail.
I don't see why that didn't happen on the spot, because all of the pieces were there in order to do so. He flat out refused to answer the Congresswoman's question. There were no grounds for him to not answer the Congresswoman's question. So in my head, and in common sense's head rather, you know, this was contempt. Like, he was in contempt of the panel, of the committee. So I don't understand how he's not in jail right now. I don't understand how he even thought that executive privilege extended to somebody who's not an executive. You know, I mean, it's very, very common sense. It's not complicated stuff. If anything, he's making it more complicated by, you know, going back and forth with the Congresswoman. So the fact that he's free right now is just ridiculous.
So Malik, was your boy Trump think he above the law, that he can tell somebody, how do you assert executive privilege when you never worked for the White House?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for that, but I can speak to the fact that this was pretty much backfired on Democrats.
No. I asked you a question.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? First of all, executive...
Well, I don't work. I don't work for him.
Malik. Executive privilege. You can apply that when somebody is working for you at the White House.
Yeah.
Corey Lewandowski never worked at the White House.
That's absolutely
and
true.
So it doesn't offend you that Donald Trump is trying to operate above the law. He wants to deny Congress its duty to properly investigate the executive branch when you got 3 branches of government. It doesn't offend you?
Well, I'm pretty sure that whatever it is that Congress can do to remedy that, they're going to do it.
No, so that's not what I asked you. What I asked you is, does it offend you that the guy who you voted for and plan to vote for again believes that he is above the law and that he is actually spitting on the Constitution and making things up to say you can't testify, to send White House lawyers to sit behind Corey Lewandowski when he never even worked for the White House?
Well, from what I've been hearing all day, there seems to be some discussions on whether or not he's actually allowed to do that. But
no, that's not allowed to do what?
He's not allowed to do that.
Well, but he did. So,
okay, let me flip it. Let me flip it. If a Democrat president chose to flout the law and to assert executive privilege where there is none, would that offend you?
Probably not.
It wouldn't offend you?
Probably not.
Malik, that's bull.
Well, you asked me the question.
Malik,
so either you're going to answer
you trying
for me,
to? So you're saying you're perfectly fine.
I'm giving you the answer that you asked me.
So you're perfectly fine.
It's not a matter of me being perfectly fine.
It wouldn't bother you?
You said whether or not it would offend me.
Would it bother you?
And I would say probably not.
Would it bother you?
Maybe.
Would it concern you?
Maybe.
So it's not big a deal to break the law? To flout the law?
Well, either you're going to...
Do you believe the president is above the law?
No, I don't believe the president is above the law.
So what is this?
Or not. But I've seen a lot of these things in politics in general, where politicians or even presidents do things that people question.
Hold up. Show me an example where the president of the United States has asserted executive privilege for individuals who did not work for the White House.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
No, but you just said I've seen these things.
Well, I said I've seen these things, meaning presidents flaunting laws to their advantage or what have you.
Okay, but this is the case where
I answered that question. You asked me whether or not if there were a Democrat in office. You asked me would I be offended, and I said yeah, and I said probably not, because that's actually how I feel. Now,
so you're perfectly fine with it?
You then you followed up and said, well, would it bother you? And I said, well, probably so. So it's either going to be if it bothers me.
Hold on. But that's probably slow. Probably slow. So
well, probably so or something that we don't know. That's a hypothetical.
Probably so is not it bothers me.
Okay, but it's still a hypothetical.
Probably so means
but it's still a hypothetical. And so for all of well, your question was a hypothetical, was it not?
Okay, so are you bothered? Are you concerned? Are you?
Yeah, that concerns me.
Let me finish.
You asked me whether or not I was offended.
Let me finish. Are you bothered, concerned, or offended at a president of the United States, in this case, Donald Trump, would flout the law and would literally say, you don't say a word when he never worked for the White House?
Sure, absolutely.
Joseph, this was a trip. The so-called party of law and order don't give a damn about law and order.
Oh, okay, so I didn't just say that it would bother me.
Hold on, but you switched. So which one is it now?
Well, you asked you asked me whether or not it would offend me, and I said no.
But then
you asked me whether or not it bothered me or something. I said maybe.
So now it does?
Well, you just asked me that, and I just answered that. And I said, sure.
You've actually given
in fact, when I said that, sure. But anyway, for any of us to sit on the set and be surprised that a witness didn't answer questions, come on. This is all of these hearings are pretty much political theater, and we know that.
But I think there's a difference, though, right? I mean, the difference is not in not answering questions. You're absolutely right. That happens fairly frequently.
Right.
But the difference is in exerting a privilege that doesn't exist.
Maybe not.
I mean, that does not
maybe
exist.
not.
It
really doesn't.
It doesn't.
Well, it did today.
Well, it did because
it didn't.
Well, it didn't answer the question.
You're sort of like saying, hey, the Detroit Lions won a Super Bowl. Maybe they did. They didn't.
Well, you asked me whether or not it would bother me, and I said,
it's like when you say maybe not.
And I said, sure. That's exactly what I said. I said, sure. So I understand you don't like that answer, but you asked me and I gave you that answer. But as you said, the fact that someone didn't answer questions under testimony in a congressional hearing, all of this stuff is political.
Kelly, this is what you have.
We know that it's political.
What you have is an absolute lying president who obstructed justice, who literally ordered Corey Lewandowski to fire the attorney general as if he somehow has the authority. When you had White House lawyers, Don McGahn, saying that is obstruction of justice, now you have a president further obstructing justice by ordering people or asserting executive privilege that doesn't exist because he wants to stymie Congress from doing its job. He acts as if that there are not three branches of the government.
But even with all of that, I'm still concerned with how Congress handled this hearing today because they still have tools at their disposal to punish those who are doing these things. If not the president, because we do have the policy that the president can't be, incarcerated while he's president or something like that.
It's a policy.
Right, it is a policy.
Memo.
It's an
No, it's not policy.
It's a memo.
No, there's a legal memo that was written in a Department of Justice to protect a thuggish president named Richard Nixon.
Right.
That's sort of like having my jail cell my jail cell inmate write a letter on my behalf.
Right.
Both of us in prison.
No,
okay?
I got you.
I mean, I just find it offensive that they're still following a legal memo written by an attorney, by a DOJ, to protect a criminal president again.
I got that. There's no disputing that. What I'm saying is, considering that they are following it, that's what we got right now. But that's still the executive branch. We still have a legislative branch that has tools at their disposal to punish those in the executive branch doing the wrong thing. And for whatever reason,
should have cuffed his ass.
They're just not doing it.
And they didn't.
They didn't do it. And they had everything at their disposal just today. We're not even talking about the Mueller hearing or anything else, anything that has been on any other investigative panel. Just today, he could have gone to jail based off of what the legislative branch can do. And he didn't go for whatever reason. I mean, we do have to blame the Democrats for that because they're the majority right now. So, as someone who is a progressive, I can call him out on that because that's ridiculous. Like, you're letting criminals go. And for what? Like, there's no rationale behind that.
What we're dealing with here, folks, is a lying administration. First of all, a president who lies about lies. I mean, that's what gets me. I mean, not just lie, but he'll lie about a lie. and then asserting this privilege. This is where Democrats should be tough. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, if Obama tried any of this, oh my God, Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan and all the Republicans would be Sean Hannity, Lou Dobbs, Laura Ingraham. They would have lost their ever-loving minds. They would have called for their gun-toting, NRA-loving people to descend on the White House and try to drag Obama out of the White House.
And Democrats probably had my position.
Actually, no. See, that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats.
No, not in it. It's all political.
No, the reality is, because see, I'll tell you, Democrats ran out a senator accused of sexual harassment.
So on mere allegations.
On a mere allegation. Forced him to resign. Your party.
Who?
Al Franken.
Al Franken.
No, and I'm saying, who are you saying that's been accused of sexual misconduct who's still in office?
It's not.
Okay, first of all, remember the boy from Texas, Blank Farrenhole, who stuck around for a long time?
I don't even remember him.
You don't remember him? Okay, gotcha. He
the name doesn't. I don't know the name.
Remember the guy called Senator David Vitter? Guy who was busted. His name was in the phone book of the
after the Me Too era.
The Washington
Was this
D.C.
before
matter.
or this
No,
before
what
or
I'm saying
after
is,
Me Too?
he served out his term.
Right, but I'm saying, was this before or after Me Too? Because I think Me Too kind of changed the dynamic.
No, not on the Republican side.
Well, that's the only reason that Franken was out, because of what we were going through.
No. What I'm telling you is, Democrats have done a much different job of holding their own accountable than your party.
Well,
y'all let it ride because you ain't trying to lose no vote.
Well, again, I think the Me Too era changed the dynamic of how we look at those things.
Now on the Republican side,
and that's something that.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Mark Foley was a pretty big deal. Mark Foley, the congressman from the senator from Minnesota.
Mark Foley, Republican from Florida.
Republican. He was from Florida, but I'm talking about the guy in the airport from Minnesota.
No, he was the guy in the airport from Idaho.
No, he's from Minnesota. There was like.
Hell, that's two.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, but they both, the allegations kind of surfaced. They lingered. I mean, even the speaker, Dennis Hastert. Dennis Hastert was a big one. Jim Jordan's another one. He's still around.
Jim Jordan's been accused. Jim Jordan.
I don't think.
Jim Jordan.
Difference.
Hold on, Ohio Republican Jim Jordan. Hold on, I just told you.
Accused of something. And even in Frankenstein,
but wait a minute.
You actually have pictures of him with his hands going towards a woman's breast.
There were allegations on Foley. There were text messages, and in Jim Jordan.
But again, I think that was Foley.
Record.
Here's my whole point.
Before or after Me Too, though?
But Foley eventually resigned. But
was that before or after Me Too?
Before. But the point is.
But I think that matters.
The point is, not at this juncture. I mean, no, I don't think so. Because at this juncture, we are talking about several Republican members of Congress.
And ain't done nothing.
Well, Bill Clinton was in office, if we want to talk about it.
And Bill Clinton got impeached.
But he was still in office, though. But he got impeached for lying. But he got impeached for lying, not for the accusation.
Believe no damn well Republicans don't hold their own accountable. And we all know that. I'll be back. Y'all know doggone well, the reality is Republicans, as long as they can hold them votes, they're going to hold on to it. The so-called party of family values, the so-called party of law and order, as long as they can stay in power, that's what they're going to do. Bottom line is, Corey Lewandowski should have thrown his ass in jail for contempt for lying. That's what he should have done.
Lock him up.
Absolutely lock his ass up. Your party believes in law and order.
Lock him up.
Sure enough.
Blame
we come back, we're going to talk to Jasmine Koenig about Democrat donor Ed Buck, of course, still targeting black gay men, and we'll talk to a brother who put together this pretty hilarious video for Senator Kamala Harris. And it was a viral video kindly posted today of this black man and black woman who was singing in a Walmart. We're going to talk to both of them. Trust me, y'all don't want to miss that as well. All that next. Roland Martin Unfiltered.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Folks, that's my homeboy. homeboy there, Gerald Albright, one of the folks performing at the Luxe Jazz Experience in Cabo, November 7th through 11th. I'm going to be there as well. Weekend-long event held at the Omnia Day Club in Los Cabos, nestled on the Sea of Cortez in Los Cabos, Mexico. Folks, it's going to be an amazing time over those 4 days. We're going to have lots of great food and drink and golf and spa, health and wellness, you name it. The second annual Luxe Jazz Experience. Of course, some great people, entertainers are going to be there. Comedian Mark Curry, Gerald Albright, Alex Bugnon, Raul Madon, Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donnie McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. I'll be broadcasting Roland Martin Unfiltered for that Thursday and Friday there as well. And so we want you to be in the house. It's going to be a great time. Go to lifeluxejazz.com, LIFELUXEJAZZ.com for more information. Packages are going fast. You also want to book it soon so your airline tickets are not crazy high. So go to lifeluxejazz.com. All right, folks, we talked about we were one of the early folks who brought attention to Democratic donor Ed Buck out of California. This is a guy, of course, where 2 black men have died in his apartment. He has not even been properly investigated by California authorities. Jasmine Koenig, a sister who's a journalist and activist out there as well, she has been on top of this from day one. She joins us right now. And now there's a picture surfacing, Jasmine, of another unidentified black man entering his apartment, and you've been, of course, on this. And so it's unbelievable that authorities are essentially protecting Ed Buck with the things that he's involved in.
Yeah, absolutely. That picture is surfacing because I put it out there. You know, there are a lot of people in LA County who want to see justice brought to Ed Buck, and I'm so happy that a lot of his neighbors understand what's going on. And so when they see things that just don't look right, they do let us know. And that's how I got that photo. We've said all along that Ed Buck never stopped his behavior at all. I mean, I think you probably remember, Roland, there was that whole video of them taking Gemmel Moore's body out, and another young man, he had already called somebody else to come upstairs the very same night. So this is just proof for us to show the world and to keep calling out the DA's office and the sheriff's department on them doing their job. And a couple of days after I posted that photo, Ed Buck called the police on that young man. The sheriff, as he usually does when he doesn't want to pay you or he's tired of you and you won't get out, he called the sheriffs on him and had the sheriffs come and kick that young man out. I made it over there, but not in time to catch the young man. The sheriffs just sent him on his way. Then they must have realized it was Ed Buck's house because they came back driving up and down the street asking people, have you seen a black man? We're looking for an African-American man. He was walking down the street. So, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know if Ed Buck is ever going to come to justice criminally for the deaths of Gemmel Moore and Timothy Dean with the way the sheriff's department and the district attorney's office is acting.
And, of course, have Democrats finally stopped taking Ed Buck's money?
What?
Have Democrats finally stopped taking Ed Buck's money?
No, I heard you wrong. No. I think that he stopped giving money for right now. We're constantly monitoring that because I would dare someone to take some money from Ed Buck, especially now knowing everything that's happened. I think he's just stopped giving his money, or he's giving his money in a way that we haven't been able to trace it back to him. He likes political action committees. He likes to do things where maybe his name isn't on it, but it'll be something like the Animal Compassion Pact. And then when you look behind it, you realize, oh, that's Ed Buck.
Well, Jasmine McCain, look, you keep stay on top of the story. We've always given you a platform from day one when a whole bunch of other media people were ignoring you and this story, and so we appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Roland. Thank you so much, and I can tell you that the families appreciate what you are doing.
All right.
Thank you.
Jasmine, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. All right, folks, a couple of days ago, I saw this video on Instagram, and there's been lots of talk about Senator Kamala Harris and her record as Attorney General and District Attorney. And this one brother, a North Carolina A&T graduate, put together this hilarious video. I thought it was pretty funny, and I wanted to go ahead and get him on the show just to talk about it. And so check this out.
So Kamala Harris It ain't the fact she black. Howard University, Alpha Chapter, AKA. It's enough to get my attention, but it ain't enough to get my vote. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You better check her record. And I did that, and I found out some things. She dope. Yo, Kamala Harris is almost exactly what you expect from a prosecutor with the credentials I just mentioned. First off, you ain't even qualified to talk about her unless you heard about Back on Track. That's like trying to discuss Jay-Z without hearing Reasonable Doubt. Back on Track was a restorative justice program for 18 to 24-year-old, first-time, non-violent, low-level drug offenders. Instead of jail or a charge on the record, folk got sent to boot camp where they got job readiness training, parental training, earned a GED, got connected with employers for careers, got their credit fixed. That's a pretty good deal. I'm finna go sell an ounce right now. Okay, but for real, once people graduate that program, she threw their charges out like it never happened. As DA of San Francisco, she made social services help parents of chronically and habitually truant kids. Twitter told y'all she was threatening with jail. Cap.
The most important issue for me really is that we get these kids into school. The goal is not to prosecute parents, it's to get these children to go to school. We are not talking about hooky and playing hooky, and frankly, we all did, okay?
Nah, they were missing 40 to 80 days. That ain't hooky, that's hiatus. And nobody went to jail. I checked. Sister got them kids back in school and kept them out of incarceration and the grave. She also created reentry initiatives so people in jail could get out and not go back. Convicted over 1,200 domestic abusers. Prosecuted child molesters, rapists, and violent criminals. Transnational gangs. Got $20 billion back for Cali from the big banks after the foreclosure crisis. Created a civil rights division in the San Francisco DA's office. When she first got in, she threw the charges out for the activists and the protesters who got arrested. Shawty a hero. Senator, no disrespect. Not to mention incarceration rates for marijuana charges fell each year she was AG. So much for that theory about her believing in mass incarceration. With Kamala Harris, I'm excited. I'm excited about her plans for gun reform and the HBCU agenda. I'm excited about women's equal pay and the return of consent decrees. I'm excited about black home ownership and a black woman on the Supreme Court. I'm excited about black businesses booming and the D9 step show the day before her inauguration. Y'all know they having a step show. And I'm gonna be there too with an $8 fish plate and some mambo sauce. At the end of the day, she the strongest and most prepared and exactly what America need right now. And I look forward to seeing her stroll into the White House in 2021. That's an AKA joke. I hope she don't make her cabinet members probate though. Nah, seriously, 4 to 8 years of D9 jokes are gonna be hilarious. I still ain't been the same since somebody said she gonna put AKA tags on the back of Air Force One.
Joining me right now is Drew Comments. Drew, how you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself, Roland? Thank you for having me.
All right, man. First of all, the video is hilarious as hell. How long did it take you to put it together, and why'd you do it?
Well, to put it together, let's see. As far as writing it out, testing the thing, I'd say maybe a few hours. We talk maybe about 4 or 5 hours or whatever, just to kind of gather everything I wanted to say because I had all the information. But what made me do it? Honestly, it was just out of frustration. Like it was really the negativity that I saw on social media regarding Senator Harris and her record, primarily. Not just her record, her identity, just pretty much everything. Like I remember as soon as she launched her campaign back in January, somebody on Twitter said, I'm embracing myself for the amount of misogynoir that she's about to experience. And I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be bad, but yeah, and people definitely lived up to it. But at first, when I saw the information, I was like, "Yo, does this sound believable to y'all?" But I figured it was just blow over. Then I thought back 2016. I was like, "Well, they did say that Hillary was running some sort of operation out of a pizza parlor, so people might start believing this." But I'm like, "Nah, nobody would do that." And it just kept going and going. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, have y'all looked?" So I had to go ahead and start digging and looking up her record. And if it wasn't for that negativity, I probably never would have done the amount of research that I actually did do. I was like, I'm dropping this video because I just wanted to say something. So there you have it.
So when you started, you were not necessarily a Senator Kamala Harris supporter, yes or no?
Oh, I already was. Like, first of all, I called this. I'm just gonna put this on record. I called. I knew she was gonna put her hat in the ring. As a matter of fact, I got the Instagram post to prove it. This had to be back in 2000 and. It had to be prior to maybe 2015, 2016. Like, it was just something about when she said that she was going for the Senate, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. It was just real, just I'm not saying predictable, but it looked like for a while that she would be somebody who would be a contender. Also, right after the 2016 election, Sinbad was actually on the Breakfast Club, as a matter of fact. And he made a mention of her, too. He was like, yo, I think the one will be Kamala Harris. I got that clip of that, too. But so I was like, hey, man, if she put her hat in the ring, I don't know anybody else from the HBCU, especially the MEAC. You know what I'm saying? That's my conference. So who most, identifies with my cultural experience. So I was like, yo, she runs. I'm with her. And then, sure enough, she did it. So I was like, oh, yeah, we got it.
Joseph, you got a question?
Hal, you took you a long time to put this together. What's been the reaction? What's been the feedback? It's gone viral. Have people been agreeing with you? Have people been like trying to tear down what you're saying? What's been the reaction?
They're hating you.
So here's the thing. It's actually been mostly love. I'm gonna say about 98, 99% love, man. Like here's the thing. Like for all the vitriol and stuff that you see, even Roland, like even in your comment section on your videos and such with folk, and I promise you, it can't be like. These got to be like Russians. I don't care, or whoever it is. Like, I'm just saying, because like some of the stuff they say, and like we don't even talk like that. Your Ebonics is off. But anyway, so like, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I mean, like in real life, and then even the reaction to my video, it has been mostly love. Like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. I've been trying to say this. Yo, he said what I've been trying to say, but he said it in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So the reaction has been just one of shock. People are kind of surprised that I guess somebody from I don't know I think I bring something a little bit different than a typical person giving their political opinion, or talking about who they want to endorse, just the way I presented it and such. So it's been overall positive. Even in real life, I'm out here in LA. I went to a day party a few weeks back. You know what I'm saying? I actually got a Kamala 2020 tank top. You know what I'm saying? Just to go to that day party, and I rocked it up there. And it's a black party. And I walk in there, and I mean, from the door, I'm just getting compliment after compliment after compliment on the shirt. I'm like, okay, folk, and it's crazy. Like, people have a hunger for her, man. It's wild out here in real life. So I'm not even letting social media, like really, really, guide me. And there's some people, even on Facebook, people I went to college with who are skeptical or might believe some of the stuff. But after I put the video in, I got people coming back to me saying, yo, I was against her or whatever, but now, like, since you did that video, like, you convinced me, I'm voting for her. Or, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do some more research. So it's been good.
Kelly?
Yeah, so considering that your video is viral now, has anybody from Kamala Harris's camp reached out to you?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. That's when I knew it got real. So I posted this video on that morning, and, I knew, first of all, like, I knew it was going to do numbers. But like, just because I'm like, no one else is doing this, man, and like, and I do these kind of videos all the time, just on other topics, usually it's about dating or relationships, something like that. But really, it's anything that could be, encompassed in current events. But it got real. I remember I was looking at my my phone, and when did it get real? It's I saw a notification. It said Maya Harris liked your tweet, and I'm like, whoa, hold up. So I open up Twitter, and I see not only has Maya Harris liked the tweet, but she mentioned me, and actually like embedded the video on her profile. I was like, son, I was at my desk. I had to get up and just take it off. I was like, people in the office must thought I was crazy. I started just laughing out loud. That was pretty cool. Douglas followed me. I followed him, so we follow each other now. Kamala's niece, Mina Harris, we've followed each other back and had a little bit of conversation and such. So it's been all positive. It's been all love. I haven't heard from Kamala yet, but I don't expect that because she's busy. She got race with me.
Malik, you got a question?
No, I don't.
You ain't got a question?
I mean, you got.
Fine, all right.
Covered.
Drew,
watch you all the time, baby. Say something.
I'm trying to give the damn black conservatives something to say, but that's fine.
Malik, no, for real, bro, I respect you, bro. Say something, please. I know you got something.
I mean, I think you.
He ain't got nothing.
I think you guys pretty much covered it. The question that I would have asked is what was the reception have been, but Kelly has already asked that. So, and whether or not they called you, and so they contacted you. I mean, it's nothing negative I can say about anything. I can't even think of any questions really to ask because between Roland and my panelists here, they pretty much covered it. So, congratulations.
Stop wasting time then.
Hold up. Well, since you're the conservative on the panel, hold up. I would say this though, from a conservative standpoint, this is actually one of the other reasons I'm actually supporting Kamala. So not only is she, able to get, folk either from the moderate left and so on, but I think that, one of the things that really gives me the confidence in her is her prosecutorial background. Actually will dip into some of that conservative bucket. Some of those folks that's on the fence who are not really down with what's going on, who feel that this current administration is antithetical to their actual moral beliefs and such as conservatives, and it's a lot on them. I know that. I think that especially we're talking places like Iowa, where those middle America, white women, when they see law enforcement, when they see Attorney General, DA, they're like, you know what? In their, American cultural experience, they're going to equate that with safety. They're going to equate that with something good. You know what I'm saying? So I think that actually might work out. I actually count on that working in her favor. So this is another reason I'm on train.
You convinced?
We shall see. But Malik gonna still vote for Trump. It don't matter. So
don't do that, bruh. Please.
No, straight up. No, he already said he's voting for Trump. A black man from Mississippi.
Yes, from Mississippi, voted for Trump. November. Keep America Great
Don't
2020.
Say that. Malik.
Yes.
Why, dog? Come on, man. Why, bruh?
I do plan on voting for Trump in 2020.
He still ain't explained why.
And he
still ain't explained why.
And to be honest, even if I were a Democrat, it's unlikely that I would support Kamala Harris.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, that's cool. I can understand, folks. Here's the thing. My whole purpose was like, look, people can support who they want to support, as far as the Democratic field. It's just that, let the information be real and be honest and stuff. Like let it be based off of fact and reality, not off of this myth that this black woman from a civil rights family from Oakland, who went to Howard, who pledged Alpha Chapter, a.k.a. Spring 86, somehow hates black men. Like, that is not believable. You had to tell me, like, that Santa Claus is not only real, but stopped in the hood first. Like, that's on the same level. Like, it's just not factual. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what started. It was like, y'all telling me she hates black people. She locked up thousands of black. Like, I look at the record. I'm like, the numbers say a completely different story. So,
it's not conservatives saying this. These are actual liberals, progressives who are saying this about her.
That and some Russian bots.
You're right.
Drew, comments, man. Look, man, we appreciate it. Hilarious video, great job, and good luck in the future.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Aggie Pride.
All right, thanks a bunch, folks. Breaking news here. Go to my iPad. Congresswoman Alma Adams tweets, the Future Act has passed the House. Thanks to Representative Bobby Scott, Representative Mark Walker, Representative Ted Budd for speaking in support of this important bill to provide funding for HBCUs and other minorities-serving institutions. And so it now goes over to the United States Senate. Folks, Acting Secretary of the Air Force Matthew Donovan said the service's newest advanced trainer aircraft has officially been named the T-7A Red Hawk in honor of the Tuskegee Airmen, the nation's first African-American pilots. Here's a quick look at history. Donovan made the announcement during the speech at the 2019 Air Force Association's Airspace and Cyber Conference. The name was also in tribute to the Curtiss P-40 Warhawk, a fighter aircraft that first flew in 1938, and that was flown by the Tuskegee Airmen. One of the original Tuskegee Airmen, Colonel Charles McGee, who flew more than 400 combat missions during World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, was on hand for the announcement. All right, folks, today I was on Instagram, and my man Common posted this video that has gotten now more than, I'll double check. Last I checked, it was about 350,000. I think it's actually way higher than that. I saw the folks at Inside Edition, they picked it up as well. I posted on my page. And again, it's got now, 434,000 views on the Commons page. I reposted it. And man, it has just gone viral. And so here's the deal, okay? This couple, first of all, just play the video, and then we'll tell you exactly how this thing actually happened. Go.
Do you know if this world were mine?
Yes, I do.
If this world were mine, I would place at your feet all that I own. You've been so good to me. If this world were If this world were mine, I'd give you anything. If this world were mine, come on, I would place at your feet. Come on. With words untold, okay. You can have anything. Come on. If this world were mine, I'd give you each day so sunny and blue. And if you were beside me, I would give you that too. If this world were mine, don't be there. I give you anything. Oh, baby, you're my inspiration, and there's no hesitation when you want me. Honey, just call me. Oh, baby, I'll be your consolation. And there'll be no hesitation when I'm in your arms. Will you believe me? Oh, the way that you do. The way that. Man, y'all cut it off. That wasn't all of it. No, Melly, stop.
Are you kidding me?
Hell no, we ain't trying to hear your ass singing.
No.
I ain't trying to hear y'all. I ain't trying to hear that right now. I ain't trying to hear it. Okay. In fact, I think y'all cut the end off when they just hit it.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Joining us right now. I'm gonna play it at the end of this interview. Take it to break. You're not gonna sing, Malik. Joining us right now is Cassandra Nelson and Donnell Cross. How y'all doing?
Hello. How are you?
Okay. I'm just trying to understand here. So y'all didn't know each other?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was shopping and I had my headphones on. I was humming something, and he was like, "She can sing."
So wait a minute. So hold up. So you were shopping at a Walmart where? Is it Columbia, South Carolina?
No,
Alpharetta,
actually,
Georgia.
at Alpharetta, Georgia, Windward
Georgia.
Parkway.
Yeah.
Oh, so both of y'all live in Alpharetta, Georgia. I mean, in basically near Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay.
She lives there. I live in New Orleans now. I used to live there. I live in New Orleans. The big.
So y'all happen to be in this Walmart, and Donnell, you hears her humming. She wasn't singing.
Right. She was humming the song. She was singing it low, and I was like, now I'm gonna tell you the story. I was going through a little breakup, so I was kind of depressed. So I had been drinking, and had a few too many. So I got the courage to walk over to her and say, if this world were mine, and she said she did. I didn't know she was going to do it that way. I didn't know she was going to work it out.
So all of a sudden, you asked her, do you know the song? She like, yeah. I guess in the video you said, let's sing it. Or did you say, I want to hear it?
Hey.
No, I said, let's sing it together.
So he starts singing, and Cassandra, the look on your face like, okay, all right, let me show you something.
Exactly.
But I want to tell you, this is a humble woman. This woman is humble. From the time that I've been speaking with her, she's very humble. I'm very happy this happened for her and I.
But what was so crazy? What was so crazy is that, first of all, as y'all are singing, y'all in the Walmart, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all remember what section of the aisle y'all on?
No, I don't.
It was near the vegetables were on my side. On his side was the ketchups and stuff like that.
It was.
I don't know which aisle it was.
So y'all start singing it, and then all of a sudden, we see in the background people are coming. Danae, behind you are the people watching y'all like, what are they doing?
There was more people behind me than it was in front of us.
And so now y'all got this audience, y'all singing a cappella, and so Cassandra, he starts singing, then you start getting into it.
Hey, whenever I sing, I'm always into it. That's what I do. That's how I am.
Now, Danae, first of all, either one of y'all, do y'all sing professionally?
No. I mean, I've done, different things. I've sung on the Apollo and one. I've done different here and there, do weddings and, but I'm a maintenance man. I fix air conditioners all day.
You fix air conditioners all day. And Cassandra, what do you do?
I am a claims examiner, workers' comp. But I have done background singing for different gospel artists. My dad, Reverend Norris Turner, was a preacher and a gospel singer, and he has 6 albums. So I've been singing all my life. But as far as professional on my own, no.
Okay.
With your help, we're going to get there, though, right, Roland?
No, because first of all, I mean, let me tell you something. So Common posted this morning, and when I saw it, it was up for about 5 hours from when he posted it. And then all of a sudden, that thing just grew and grew. It's now more than 400,000. And then I put on Facebook and Twitter saying, "Yo, black people, do what y'all do. Find out who these 2 black people are." Right. Then I saw the 2 of y'all comment on a comments page. So first, Danae, how did you find out that it was posted on Commons page?
Someone told me this. Well, a friend of mine told me this morning while I was getting ready for work, and then Cassandra had hit me up and told me that it was there, and that she was excited, and we were riding to work. And the guy that actually posted it, my boy Craig Reese, Cassandra and I called him, and the 3 of us had just had a melee this morning going to work.
So Cassandra, how did you find out Common had posted it?
Well, I found out from my good friend Shanisha Watkins. She texted me and she was like, "Girl, Common just posted your video." And I'm like, "Nah." So I went to Instagram and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," So, and then I contacted Donnell and I was like, "Okay, you ready? Because we going somewhere."
So y'all, Donnell, at the end of the video, you had asked for a number. Your boy said he was going to send her the video. And so now, of course, you got some bros who said, yeah, Donnell was being slick. At the end, he was like, "Why don't you go ahead and slide me your number?" So, black folks would comment on everything like that. And so, first of all, how long ago did this happen?
This happened in February or March of 2018. It happened a year ago.
Yeah.
And
this was last year?
Yes.
Huh?
This was last year?
Last year.
And it just picked up and just soared. Now, the thing about it is my grandmother raised a gentleman. Ms. Alberta Ross raised a gentleman. I'm not going to just walk up to a lady and be rude and, it's rude to me. But I'm very much, very much a gentleman, Right, Brittany? Right, Roger? Adriana?
So who are all those people?
Those are my guys that I work with. They was like, "You better shout us out." So I said, "All right, I'm going to give it a shout."
So, I mean, and again, this happened in March of last year.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all get together and sing somewhere else?
No. Haven't talked to Donnell
We haven't seen each other.
Haven't talked to him since until all of this blew up.
Now, I saw, Cassandra, you posted on your Instagram page, Inside Edition saw this, and they actually ran a clip of y'all singing.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Wow.
Robin Meade did it on HLN in the morning.
Yeah, Morning Express.
Wow. That's how fast this thing has blown up. And so, Cassandra, you first, what has your day been like since Common posted this? The rest of us picked up on it.
My gosh, it has been. I really didn't get anything done at work today. I'll just say it like that. Because I'm like, every minute my phone has just been blowing completely up. My daughters, Briella, Kimberly, and Kiana, they are ecstatic. So, of course, my daughter, who's almost an attorney, she's probably going to get me for saying this. But anyway, she said, "Okay, we got to do some things. Let's do this." And so I have a daughter who's a fashion stylist. She said, "Okay, Mom, let me style you. Let's do this." So yeah, they're ecstatic, and my day has been crazy. Since this thing has blown up, it's been crazy. But I give all everything to God because it's all in His timing. And my frat brother Roland Martin, with your help, we're gonna go somewhere, right?
Absolutely, Danelle. How's your day been like?
Oh man, I didn't get anything done. I tried, but my phone was going off as well. My niece Latriva Cross, and my sister Phyllis Thurston, and all my family, they're going ecstatic over it. I'm numb because my sister's been praying for this for me since we were children, and she sings too. Matter of fact, my whole family sings. So basically, they're like, "Oh my God, this is just too much." I don't know what to say, Roland. I promise you.
First of all, Danelle, you got if you actually shave and you got the look and sound like BB Winans.
Oh, no, that's what I sung. When I found you. I found I got to think of the words, but but my favorite is Luther Vandross.
Kelly, you got a question?
No, I'm just in awe, and I just loved everything about the clip, and I just hope that it goes somewhere far. Like, I don't want this to just be a viral moment. I want like careers made out of this.
Well, okay, so. Okay, I'm gonna say this in a minute. Joseph, you got it?
Yeah, that was my question. Your phone's been blowing up. Who has called you? Has anybody reached out to you and say, "Hey, y'all could make a really great act"?
No one. Roland, you're the first. You're the first one that have asked us to be on a show, and I want to thank you for that. And yes, we want it to go somewhere. We don't just want it to be a viral moment. We've been singing. I have been singing all my life, and that's what I wanted. My dad wanted for me. Me and my sister, she sings as well, and we're just ready to go and do this.
Malik, go ahead.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that and to explain this to people kind of outside the community of why this is so touching is that for so many of us, we heard our mothers, aunts, uncles. So many of us actually heard these songs growing up, and especially we're talking about Luther Vandross. So we have our own Luther and Tommy Terrell here. And so I just want to say that, this is just pretty awesome. And the fact that you guys, are great singers, but this is a great moment. And especially in this political climate that we're in, even though this was a year ago, but to really see something like this and to hear you guys is so refreshing. And so I wish you the best. I absolutely wish you the best.
What we want to do, thank you so much. What we want to do is to bring R&B back. I mean,
all right.
R&B is, that's what we're born and raised on.
Some crooning. We got going on.
My father sang with he started off with the Jive Five out of Brooklyn, New York, him and my uncle Richard Harris. And then you can look them up. They're on there. My sister sang with Hezekiah Walker, and the list goes on with the singing and all that. So I wish my mother was here to see this. I promise I do.
And I just want to say the next. I'll put in a request for some Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack.
Yes.
Okay.
Boy, sit down.
You ain't gotta wait.
So here's the deal. One, I want to definitely get you on this show. For all the folks who are watching, Danelle and Cassandra, they're going to be on the Tom Joyner Morning Show tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Eastern. And I know Common had put out there that he wanted to know who y'all were. Have y'all heard from any of his people?
No, not that. I haven't been back on the thing.
Well, I know Common personally. I got his number. He's actually overseas, and so we've hit him up. And so I'm gonna connect y'all with Common and his manager as well to holler at them. And then a couple other things. I did send an email to my buddies Robin Roberts, Michael Strahan, and George Stephanopoulos. So I'm gonna send them y'all information. Try to get y'all on Good Morning America. And then
I'll be in New York this weekend.
Well, and then my other homeboy, of course, is Steve McKeever, Hidden Beach Records, and so I just sent Steve a text to see if he had heard y'all singing, and so I'm gonna connect with Steve as well. Of course, he was the first one to put Jill Scott out and some other folks, and so
I know
we'll do that. And so again, it was just amazing the fact that y'all don't even know each other, how this whole thing just happened, and it sort of reminds me of the brother who was singing in the train station, the subway station in New York, and then James Cordon put him on his CBS show. That brother's been touring across the country, things along those lines. And so before we let y'all go, y'all here, so we might as well. Now, granted, being together is different being on Skype, but y'all here, let's hear y'all sing the same song together.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go.
If this world were mine, I would place at your feet all that I own. You've been so good to me. If this world were mine, I'd give you the flowers, the birds and the bees.
Come on.
And it'd be your love beside me. That would be all I need. If this world was mine, I'd give you anything.
If this world were mine, I would make you the king with wealth untold. You could have anything if this world were mine. I give you each day so sunny and blue. And if you wanted the moonlight, I'd give you that too. If this world were mine, I'd give you anything.
Oh, baby, you're my inspiration, and there's no hesitation.
Come on.
When you want me, honey, just call me.
Oh, baby, I'll be your consolation, and there'll be no hesitation when I'm in your arms.
Oh, the way that you do. Yeah. The way that
love me, boy.
Oh yeah, the way that you do.
Oh, the way that you love me.
Oh, every sky would be blue as long as you're loving me, baby. Oh, give me pretty loving, baby. Give me pretty loving, honey. Keep on loving me,
baby.
Loving me the way you do.
The way you love me, baby.
No, and I don't want to let you go. Let you go, wanna let you go, my love. Love.
call the law.
That is, as we say, y'all can't sing, y'all can sing.
Thank you.
Well, it is, first of all, it's an amazing story. Oh, also, by the way, I also hit up my man at Walmart. I sent him the video. I said, y'all need to shout them out as well. And so I passed that on as well. Cassandra Nelson, Donnell Cross, I hope all of y'all dreams come true. Whatever I can do to make that possible, we'll make that connect. Thank you for, first of all, answering the Instagram post. Certainly appreciate that. And again, just an unbelievable, fabulous video. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you. And with your help, I'm sure they will. Thank you so much.
All right, Cassandra Nelson, Donnell Cross. We certainly appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
That was a hell of a thing.
That was pure black girl, black boy joy, magic, sparkles, everything. I'm a kid in the candy store.
And I sent that clip to Tyler Perry today. He was like, he said, I need to do my, not rehearsal. He said, I need my auditions in a Walmart.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it was just too funny.
And I just want to say very quickly to the audience out there, you heard what they said. Roland is the first show that they've actually been on, you know, and I saw this a couple of days ago. But this is the importance. This is why the show exists. And yeah, I get beat up, and I read what you guys are saying in the comment section. But I come on here because this is where my family is. And so support the show, support Black Magic. We got it all here. And so from me to you, I love all of y'all, whether y'all don't like me or not.
Just don't sing that song. That's all I say.
But
Don't
about that connect with comment, can I have connect with comment?
No.
Listen to her.
No.
Listen to her.
No.
I mean,
No.
what?
No.
I gotta shoot my shot like they did.
Yeah, you gotta sing a song or something.
I can do that too.
You
gonna have a problem with Angela Rado.
Well, you ain't never done it.
She broke it up.
You ain't never done it. So they be trying to say I can. We ain't never heard that. So, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Carmen is in Amsterdam, and I tried to get him on the phone, but Jackie said Carmen sleep. But I'm going to get him on the show. Trust me. And when the show's over, I'm gonna call his manager and see if we can hook that thing up. Even when we gotta do a pre-tape video interview. But again, no, he put it out there. I'm glad he did. And man, I'm telling y'all, I think last count, I think it's got like 10,000 comments.
Wow.
So let's see here. Let me see. We go down here. So yeah, 442,486 views, 11,005 comments.
Wow.
Seth the Entertainer, Snoop Dogg, all these different people have been commenting.
That's viral.
On this video, and so that's the deal. So yeah, so I'm gonna send it to the folks at Good Morning America, and then when we get done, I'm gonna send it to the folks at Gayle King and CBS this morning. Cause you know, look, I know I might as well send it to them. Hey, as Melik said, this is why we created Roland Martin Unfiltered, because we talk about and cover stuff nobody else gonna touch and talk about. That's what this show is all about. And so we want you to support this by joining our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar you give goes to support this show. That's what's critically important. So we want you to be a part of that. Go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com to join our fan club. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our supporters, our viewers, to contribute $50 for the course of the year. You can give monthly. You can also give one-time payment. You can give more than that. I've got some people who give it today, $100, $200 as well, and I appreciate that. One person up to $5,000 who gave. Oh, check this out. So this just in. Guess what? Steve McKeever, my man, said he just got off the phone with Common's manager.
Yes.
See how that thing works? See how that thing works? And so I'll let y'all know what happens next with Cassandra and Donnell. But again, support Roland Martin Unfiltered by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can pay via Cash App, via PayPal, and Square as well. Tomorrow I'll be broadcasting from Stamford, Connecticut. I got the 50 CAN board meeting. We share this office with the 50 CAN Education Reform Group. I'm on the board of directors, so I'll be there tomorrow. And so look forward to seeing you guys. All right? I got to go. I was going to play the, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and play it again. I'm going to play the whole thing. This was the whole full video because it's just, because like they sang on the show, but I'm telling you, they were so phenomenal. And I just loved when they hugged after. And so this was actually in a Walmart in Georgia. This was Cassandra and Donnell. What actually happened last year. Y'all, take it to the break. Y'all have a great day. Holla!
I would place at your feet all that I own. You've been so good to me. If this world were mine, I'd give you the flowers, the birds and the bees, and it'd be your love beside me. That would be all I need if this world were mine. I'd give you anything.
If this world were mine,
Come on.
I would place at your feet.
Come on.
With words untold.
Okay.
We can have anything.
Come on.
If this world were mine, I give you each day so sunny and
Come on.
blue. And if you were beside
You wanted to
me,
mine.
I would give you that too. If this world were mine, don't be there. I give you anything.
Oh, baby, you're my inspiration, and there's no hesitation when you want me. Honey, just call me.
Oh, baby, I'll be your consolation. And there'll be no hesitation when I'm in your arms.
Will you believe me? Oh, the way that you do.
The way that.
Oh yeah, the way that you do.
The way that you love me.
Oh, every sky would be blue as long as you're loving me, baby. Oh, give me pretty loving, baby. Give me pretty loving, honey. Keep on loving me, baby. Oh, you know I need you, honey. You know I need you, baby. Keep on loving me, loving me the way you do. My love.
The way you love me, boy, you love me.
I don't wanna let you go. My love.
The way that you,
You know the world would be
Awesome. Yes.
Donnell, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's your number because I'm sorry. I just had to get that number. Thank you. Excuse me holding up the line.
Yes, we did. He was singing it. I was singing it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, we just started there. You know, she was singing. I said, "Did you know if this world was done?" She said, "Yeah, I do." And that's what we do.
Now you gotta sing me.
I absolutely will.
All right.
That is.
Yeah, y'all were fantastic.
You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.
Hey everybody, this is Sherry Shepherd. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered, and while he's doing Unfiltered, I'm practicing the wobble. Yes, I am. Because Roland Martin's the one, he will do it backwards, he will do it on the side. He messes everybody up when he gets into the wobble, because he doesn't know how to do it, so he does it backwards. And it just messes me up every single time. So I'm working on it. I got it. You got Roland Martin.
Hi, my name is Latoya Luckett, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mac Wilds, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What's up, y'all? It's Ryan Destiny, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
What up, Lana Well, and you are watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Hey fam, want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered, the blackest show on all of digital, cable, and broadcast. Check out our audio podcast. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. Press play.